Good morning, Colorado. Welcome to a Friday edition of Local Bizz Buzz. What's going on over there, Noah? You okay?
We're good.
All right, you had to look like something was going wrong. Welcome to a Friday edition of Local Bizz Buzz. I'm your host, Larry Hurst. Today in studio, look at these pies. We got Tanner from Mile High Pie Co. Welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You guys, I don't know if it's like a urban thing, like an urban. I'm not describing this well, but where they put the pie in the window to cool off.
Yeah.
And the smells waft out, and then
The Snow White effect.
Is that what it was?
That's
I'm
what I
like,
call
I've
it.
seen a cartoon with that.
Yeah.
You put this pie, because this pie just came out of the oven. It's still hot, and the smells just like, I think like in the cartoons, like they float towards the pie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what this is.
That is generally what we're going for. We want to bring people in any way we can, and smell's a good way to do it.
Give us a little history of you and your company.
Well, Larry, so my name's Tanner. I run Mile High Pie Co. I have always loved to cook, always loved to be a part of the food business. Started this in the pandemic as a little bit of a pivot to try to put something together for delivery for folks.
Tell them what you were pivoting from.
So I actually worked in commercial real estate finance for a long period of time, and then left to follow my passion, did some cooking for a while, and then came to this as an opportunity to get food into people's hands in their houses. So started taking that background, my cooking background, definitely more savory. I don't call myself a baker. I know how to make one kind of pastry.
What do you call yourself?
I call myself a cook. I'm a cook, and I just happen to put my food in a pie crust. That's the pastry I know how to make. You know, I'd have to follow the recipe for cookies on the back of the chocolate chips bag if I needed to, but
So you're not classically trained.
I'm not classically trained. No, I'm
not trained at all.
I like
even
to joke.
amateurly trained.
I like to joke that I'm an avid learner and self-taught in the sense that I own as many cookbooks as I think you can own, and I've read them all front to back a lot of times. And I think that's the beauty of cooking is practice makes perfect, and if you just keep doing it, you can make really delicious food that goes out to people, and as long as they like it when they eat it, you've done your job.
Did you grow up eating a lot of pie?
I grew up. My grandma was talented in the kitchen. My mom can make a pie, but it wasn't something necessarily that was like a strong historical
in your blood.
precedent. Yeah. I spent some time brainstorming during COVID, saying how can I get my food to people in the most efficient and delicious way possible, and a great way to do it is take and bake pies, take and bake stuff in pastry, because when this thing comes out of the oven, it hasn't been sitting in a delivery driver's car for 30 minutes, whatever it is. You pull this thing out of your oven, it's as good as it gets. It's the perfect product right when you're ready to eat it. It's not 45 minutes past when the chef wanted you to eat it.
So are most of your pies take and bake?
Most of our stuff is take and bake.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Fortunately for you guys get them right out, ready to go.
That's because we don't have an oven.
That's right. But yeah, most of our stuff is take and bake. Some of our cold dessert style pies, or our brunch parfait pie, whatever you want to call it.
You don't know yet, do you?
I haven't figured it out yet. That one's pretty new. It's only about a week old. But we'll do stuff that's ready to eat, especially for the farmers market. But
Sure.
A lot of it is take and bake. Yeah.
And what is it, 45 minutes kind of?
Most of these bake from frozen. So we deep freeze them, and it makes it.
You don't recommend thawing before.
I don't. Yeah, put it straight in from the freezer, and it gives you an opportunity to really extend your storage if you need to. You can set it for a couple of days or a week or whatever you need to do. You don't have to worry about that pastry degrading in your fridge. But yeah, it's about 80 minutes, 85 minutes at 400 degrees from frozen.
Yeah.
And you end up with what you see here.
So you sell that frozen? No.
So the egg, you crack the egg in the last 15
I'm
minutes.
there's no way that.
Yeah.
I'm not the baker, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, the egg goes into the end. We're gonna cut this bad boy open. We're hoping for a good Let's see what we got.
Yeah. So that's our
the
sausage
egg
gravy, and we've got an egg that we bake in the middle of it, little chives, little red pepper.
We're hoping this egg pops.
We'll see.
It came from where?
Over in Virginia Village.
So and up.
How'd we do?
Yeah, it's running.
Oh baby, look at that.
That's what we call in the business egg porn. So what's all in here? You said sausage gravy.
Yeah, that's a super classic sausage gravy. There's no calories in that whatsoever. It's
You gave me the fat-free version.
Exactly.
Look how nice you are.
Seasoned pork sausage. We just cook that with a little milk and flour until it comes all together the way we want it to, and then we season it up with a fair amount of red and black pepper. And then that goes in our pastry crust. Last 15 minutes of baking, you drop that egg in the well, and there's a little hole cut in the top already for you. And then we throw a little chive on right at the end to make it look nice and taste nice.
The cameramen are like, yes, please, we'll have that.
It's a solid breakfast if you're looking to stick to your ribs.
And this thing is still hot, right out of the oven.
Yeah, that's kind of our classic apple pie. My take on it. I like a little extra texture than maybe you get with a lot of the apple pie recipes you've seen. So I don't actually pre-cook those apples in any way. I lay them in there rather densely, and then we've got our filling that goes on top of that. And the fun part about leaving those apples uncooked, you get a little bit more evaporation of some of the liquid in there. So you create some more steam pockets and you create some more texture inside that pie. And the apples stay a little crisper, I think, and give you a little more bite, which I personally like quite a bit. Don't feel like you're eating jelly. That's nostalgia in a pie pan. So that's our s'mores pie. It's graham cracker crust, chocolate ganache across the bottom, about a 1/4 inch thick. That's your Hershey's bar. Across the bottom, there's our chocolate ganache, and then we do a whipped chocolate mascarpone mousse all through the middle, and then topping, obviously toasted marshmallows. For a period of time, we did a house-made marshmallow meringue. It was beautiful. It was very classic kind of pastry style meringue, and it wouldn't convey the right nostalgia. It was delicious, but like there's something that you can't replicate about a toasted marshmallow from a bag, and it didn't have the right smell and feel for me. And it was beautiful and all of these things, and so I switched it back out and I put mini marshmallows on it and I toast them up, and that's the kind of visceral feeling that I'm going for. That's s'mores pie is s'mores, and there's no way around it.
I don't understand why I've never seen this before. Like, this is such a brilliant idea. It should be so obvious.
Yeah, and it's.
Have you seen it anywhere?
I have not. No,
Okay.
that was. Everybody likes to make a marshmallow meringue, and it's good, but there's something about the way it used to be.
Now we're gonna blow people's minds. I mean, look at that.
So that's my garden quiche. This is going to be available at the farmers market for Mother's Day. This is a pastry crust, very classic quiche custard, eggs and cream, and then we've got a zucchini rose inside of there, and we let that roast in the oven as that pie bakes, and then it gets a reduced balsamic vinegar on the top, and then a little fresh grated Parmesan. Oh, and I forgot to mention the bottom. There's about a 1/4 inch of a goat cheese base across the bottom of that. Give it a little tang, give it a little extra richness, and that comes together, and you get a little bit of zucchini, but you get a lot of
Well, this is healthy too. You're eating vegetables.
Exactly. That is actually not terrible.
Goat cheese and balsamic. That's
Right,
a great
exactly.
combination.
Yeah.
Hemi, we don't know what it's called.
Of course. Yeah, we'll call it a parfait pie. This one's actually pretty good for you. I'm gonna put my heel in the ground and say this one's decent for you relative to the rest of the stuff we make. But this is a granola crust, so we blitz up a little bit of granola and mix it with butter and bake it into a crust like that. And then the filling is a whipped vanilla yogurt, and we use that mascarpone again. I love using that. You get a density and a texture that I think is hard to replicate with other stuff. Sometimes people use gelatin or different things, but a whipped vanilla yogurt filling, and then we macerate 3 different berries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. We macerate them in honey, super low temperature for like an hour, and let that honey kind of just come in and become a part of those berries, and then they get set around the top, and that's for your health conscious friends. Bring that to brunch, and everybody's going to be feeling good about it.
You got some mad skills, Tanner.
Thank you.
And it's interesting. He doesn't call himself a baker.
No. No, I like to joke that I'm a cook. I'm a chef that happens to sell pastry. And I just have an enormous amount of respect for super talented bakers, people that really know what they're doing. That is it's the most difficult combination of art and science, and people that are great at it. I I don't want people to think that I'm in their league. I'm not. I think I'm a pretty darn good cook, and I happen to be okay at making pie crusts. But so I like to put myself in whatever ambiguous category that happens to be.
I can't imagine this comes frozen too.
That does not. That's
and
served
this
fresh.
wouldn't come frozen.
That is not either. So these three come refrigerated. These come frozen. And then some of our other stuff, we move stuff in and out of the menu relatively frequently, depending upon seasonal ingredients, what's available. During the winter, we do a beef bourguignon, super classic Julia Child's recipe. I figured if it's not broken, don't
Beef
fix it.
bourguignon pot pie?
Pot pie,
yeah.
exactly, yep. I have one that's a slow roasted pork belly with a reduced marsala wine gravy and a lot of fresh sage. That's beautiful. That comes frozen. The beef bourguignon comes frozen.
Sky's the limit on what you could do for frozen pies.
It really is, and it's part of the result of our pandemic brainstorming is how do we get good food in people's hands that comes out the way they want to eat it, not steamed up in a plastic box and just slightly close to where it should have been.
Okay, how much do these pies cost? They're all over the board probably.
They vary slightly, but in general, the small size you're seeing right there, that's going to be in the $12 to $15 range, depending upon what you're getting. That sausage gravy pie is $14. And then the larger pies are in the $26 to $32 range, depending upon what you're getting again. And the ingredients,
Big question everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
How can they get these pies?
You can get these online, milehighpieco.com on the box. We do delivery in Denver. We say if you live in the Denver metro area, we'll deliver to you.
Free?
It's $4 per delivery. So if you add up, I would stack 6 or 8 pies on your order and you really get your value out of that $4. But yeah, we deliver Thursdays and Fridays, and then you can come find us at the Pearl Street Farmers Market on Old South Pearl here in Denver every Sunday from now until November from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
But you wouldn't have the frozen ones there, right?
We will. We actually will have the frozen
You'll
ones.
have a freezer there?
Yep, we'll have everything we offer.
you.
Yeah. Well, it's not a freezer. We'll have a Yeti stacked with that.
Okay, I'm like, how are you getting a freezer in there?
No, it's colder than the freezer, actually. So,
Really?
Well, not the deep freezer, but colder than your house freezer. You fill those things up with ice, and they stay pretty darn
Josh,
cold.
get this bite.
I'm ready. Hold on.
Look at that. Who's jealous? Well, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. Tanner, pleasure to meet you. Anything else before
Nice
we go?
to meet you. I don't think so. Thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
That's what we try and do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll see you today at 11:30 for What's for Lunch. We've Bacon Social House coming. Let's eat. Oh, I'm so excited.
Double serving of pork today.
That's a 10.
Does it come out? Is it okay?